This is a review on the HK USP Compact in 9mm. This is my first gun review. Usually I'm doing knife reviews. If you guys are subscribers to my channels, you know that this is a little bit unorthodox for me. So bear with me if I don't have all the information on this gun. I'm fairly new to shooting, but it is a passion of mine, even though I haven't been doing it very long. So I thought I'd break up the routine a little bit and go into some of the pistols I own. I'm starting off with the HK USP Compact just because this was my first handgun, so I figured it'd be my first gun review. It's a very nice pistol. I decided to go with HK off the bat just because I figured, well, you know, if you guys don't know, in Jersey it's pretty hard to get a handgun. It's a big, long, drawn-out process, so I was like, who knows if I'll ever even be able to get another one, and this is, you know, I'm going to be spending a lot of money, so let me just get something that I'm going to like a lot. And I don't regret buying this at all. It was a very nice. It's a very nice pistol. I'd say it's not too bad as a first-time pistol. It's treated me very well. I think up to date I've probably put, I'm not really sure, 1,500 to 2,000 rounds through it. And I have used it in steel match and a USP SA match as well. So I have used it in competition and some informal competitions at my local range. So I've gotten pretty familiar with it, and I've really liked it. Coincidentally, though, just because of some money situation, it might be the first gun I sell as well. This might have to go just because I don't have a ton of money to throw around on everything, and I'm looking to get into some other things, knives, other guns, other perhaps maybe rifles, stuff like that. So unfortunately, it might go, and I'll get into reasons why I'm considering selling this one, even though it's an excellent pistol. But before I get into that, I'm going to start off. I don't really have a formal structure for gun review, so I'm going to go over accuracy and performance, and then I guess I'll go into the ergos and function of the pistol. As far as the accuracy and performance of the HK, it definitely lived up to its reputation. From what I read online, asking people for advice, extremely accurate handgun. I will say that it took me a little bit. To get used to the trigger. This particular model is a double action to single action trigger. Honestly, when I say it took me a while to get used to it, it's not so much the getting used to the double action to single action transition. When I first started shooting, I learned on Glocks. I learned on Glock, so this trigger is very different from a Glock trigger. It's a short little pull for the single action. It's nice and crisp, but it just took me a little bit of time to get used to. But once I did, it definitely proved itself to be an extremely accurate pistol, and it, you know, it's pretty consistent too. I'd say once I got used to this, you know, striking a paper plate from 25 yards consistently, not an issue. You know, once you understand the trigger, it's not an issue at all. As far as performance in competition, well, like I mentioned before, I did use it in one steel match competition. I did use this also in a USPSA match as well. But you got to take it with a grain of salt. Both times it was my first competition, so that I ever did. So I was kind of new to. Well, I'm already new to shooting, and I was even more new to competing. So I don't know really how valid the feedback would be, but I would say it did perform pretty nicely. There are some features that I do like about this gun for competitive purposes, and I guess you could translate that to self-defense as well. For one thing, I do like that it's hammer fired, and it has the double action. And I'm saying that because I also reload my own ammo, and sometimes my reloads are a little bit shoddy. So if, say, like a primer is not seated deep enough, or it just didn't go off for whatever reason, I do like the ability to pull that trigger again to set that round off, instead of having to strip the round out by racking the slide and losing that round and loading the next round in if you have something like a Glock, which is striker fired. So that is nice. I also like the fact, I like how they designed the bottom of the grip here with the two indents. That's good if, in case you get something like a double feed or some kind of malfunction where the magazine gets stuck, you can reach in here, and they've put that there so you can assist the magazine out a little bit easier. That's nice. I also like the way the magazines are designed, how they taper down quite a bit towards the top, and it has a very wide mouth, so reloads are pretty smooth and easy with this pistol. The slide lock is nice and wide too, so if you do go to lock back and you reload, it's very easy to reach that. It also offers versatility in terms of how you want to carry and draw the weapon. You can either use a decocker and start in double action, or you can carry it and start cocked and locked. For me, that actually proved to be a little bit more confusing than anything, just because it was I couldn't decide what was better for me. Sometimes I'd start cocked and locked, so my first shot would be single action if the stage had a shot that was kind of far starting off. If the shot was close up and I was comfortable taking that long double action pull, then I would just decock it. But overall, I think it is better just to stick with one method of drawing and firing the weapon to be consistent. I never really used it enough in competition to really settle on one way. As far as the ergonomics and the function and the features, it's very comfortable in hand. A lot of people that I've shown this pistol to, they all agree that, once it goes in your hand, it really does feel like a perfect fit. The only complaint that I personally have, and this is just a preference, is the decocker and the slide lock, they kind of protrude out a bit more than some other guns. I started off with Glocks. I own a Glock 26, and from time to time I shoot some of my buddies' Glocks. I like a really flat surface here, because I like to carry with my thumbs on the side like this, like the rest of them on the side. With the HK, the decocker, although it is in an ideal position for decocking and engaging the safety, for me it sticks in the way, so I can't do that. So the way I shoot it is I ride my thumb high and kind of to the side, and this thumb does rest along the side, but it is resting along the slide stop, so not a big deal. I mean, I still shoot accurately with it. The magazine release is kind of love or hate it type of deal. Some people don't mind it at all, such as myself. I really don't mind it. I kind of actually like it. The way I do it is when I go for a reload, I use my middle finger and drop the mag as such. You could use your index as well. It's a bit of a reach for your thumb. I don't really know if it was intended to be released like that. Some people hate it though. They like their traditional release with the thumb. Me personally, I got used to it pretty fast. It was never an issue for me. The sights, well, I bought this used, and it came with night sights, but I think the stock sights are very similar, standard 3-dot setup. Worked fine for me. And as far as reliability, ultra reliable gun. I never had an issue with factory ammo. With my light reloads, I had the occasional stovepipe, but I don't really count that as a reliability issue, because that's going to happen with any gun. Happened with my Glock. It happened with the SIG. So, light loads are just going to do that. I will say though that there were some loads that I've done that choked up on my Glock, and they didn't in the HK. So I think that was I thought that was a major plus. Some people complain about the rail being proprietary. You do have to get an adapter for some non-HK accessories. To me, it's not a big deal, because I don't ever put anything on the rail, so it's not a big deal to me. But if you do, I guess that could be an issue. The way it takes down is extremely easy and fast. You just pull this back and pop this lever out. So maintenance is extremely easy on this particular model. Everything just comes apart very quickly. And yes, you have to drop the mag first, which I forgot, so apologize for that. But yeah, overall, it's an excellent gun. I'd say I know some people don't like the USP series. Me personally, I think it's a great gun. It's a great platform. As I mentioned earlier, though, I am considering selling it, just because of all the guns that I shoot. It is very accurate, but for whatever reason, it's also the least consistent for me. And when I say inconsistent, I don't mean that I go there and I shoot like a group that's like all flyers. I mean, it's just that some days this gun will punch one hole, and other days it'll just be maybe a little to the left, a little high. it's not even consistent in the way that it's a little bit off. And even when it's off, it's still a pretty tight group. You know, maybe from 5 yards or 7 yards, usually I can keep it within 2 or 3 inches, you know. But then other days it'll just be, you know, it'll be a little bit bigger, and then there'll be some up here, and then, you know, I load the magazine up, and then it'll be kind of low. And I really don't know what that is. I guess I'm sure it's me. I'm sure it's not the gun. But again, you know, guns fit people differently. So that's the only reason why I considered selling it. I'm much more consistent with a Glock. I have a SIG as well. I'm much more consistent and accurate with a SIG. So because of that, I prefer using my Glock, and I haven't used my SIG for competition, but I intend to. I would rather use what's more consistent and a little bit more accurate for me, and that for me would be the Glock and the SIG. So this kind of just it'll come with me to the range for fun, but I tend to like to use my guns more than just once in a while. Ever since I got my Glock and my SIG, and I have a 1911 as well, it kind of just sits in the safe. So it doesn't really see nearly as much time as when I first got it. And if I'm not using something a whole lot, I'd rather sell it and put the money towards something that will, you know, towards something that's going to see more use. That's the only reason. It's not any fault of the gun. It's an awesome pistol. And really, if money was no issue, I'd just keep it because I think it's sweet. But you know, there's some other things that I want to get into, and unfortunately, when you want to do that, you're going to have to unload some of your toys. But anyways, that's the review, my first gun review. I hope I did all right and that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, any comments, let me know. And thanks for watching.